now, so if you want.
Okay, I thought I think it's one of...
Can we, if the mic will be long enough? No.
I think it's one at a time, and I just left mine live, so... So that is unopened.
Okay.
Opened but untouched by human hand.
I have one. If anybody else needs the water.
I think we're good to go?
Might close the door.
Let's burn water everywhere.
Is that long enough?
Not so much.
You okay?
You're happy with that? Can you do that one and we...
Yeah, I'll
okay.
I'll leave that, and then you're welcome to take it. That's yours.
I think it's not mine.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want it, it's going. I've opened it before the mount, so these are all... Anyway, just so we had
in
some...
case. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think we're going to try and make a start then. And I'm going to speak. We're all going to speak very clearly and loudly into the microphones to compete with other people with microphones around about. So wave if you can't hear us at any point, and we will move closer to the microphones. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Gareth Redmond-King. I'm the International Lead at the Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit, which is a non-profit in the UK. We work to inform the debate on climate and energy. But that's by the by, because for these purposes I am merely the chair introducing and facilitating this excellent panel of experts as we talk methane. So, why are we talking methane? Well, mostly because it's an immensely potent greenhouse gas, one which, whilst it doesn't stay in the atmosphere as long as its best-known co-conspirator carbon dioxide, has a warming effect many times worse than carbon dioxide. Because it's short-lived, but more polluting, reducing it, of course, gives a very quick return on effort to limit warming. And obviously we will need to reduce it if we have any hope of limiting temperature rise to 1.5 degrees. Methane emissions are caused by oil and gas extraction, by agriculture, and by waste. And according to the recent Clean Air and Climate Ministerial, methane in the atmosphere is increasing at record rates, having increased 260% since the Industrial Revolution. The first part of the IPCC's sixth assessment report, published last year, and still a very important part of the backdrop to this talk, made clear that rapid and ambitious cuts to methane could, in effect, buy time in overall carbon budgets, or speed up the cuts necessary to keep warming to 1.5 degrees. And a year ago, 100 nations signed up to the Global Methane Pledge to cut emissions by 30% by 2030. Sign-ups are running at 140, and today we expect to hear more from 40 countries presenting their methane action plans, and maybe a few more sign-ups, who knows. So reflecting on that pledge, and the next steps to delivering it, our panellists here will each present their visions to what should happen in these action plans for that pledge to transform into action. Another important piece of the backdrop to what they will say is this new report, Methane Matters, which you can see a small pile of at the door to gather as you come in or go out. So the Environmental Investigation Agency, representing energy emissions, Changing Markets Foundation, representing agriculture, and GAIA, representing waste, have worked together in collaboration to try and maintain momentum on methane action after Glasgow and adoption of the Methane Pledge there. So the report is an output of that work. A thought starter, it suggests, setting out a framework for collective international action, collaboration and coordination on methane emissions. So this event is to consider that report, to discuss its proposals. It is co-hosted by the Chilean delegation here at COP. Chile just set itself a goal to cut methane from 2025, and it's announcing a new nationally determined contribution here in Sharm el Sheikh. Always a welcome thing at COP. Well, mostly a welcome thing if it's a good NDC. So that will include, for the first time though, commitments on methane emissions reductions and waste management. So look, that's very much it. You're not here to listen to me, that's my introduction, I'm going to stop. I'm handing over to somebody far better placed to set the scene than I am. I'm going to hand over to our first speaker on the panel, Dr. Kathleen, who is Research Group Leader at the Institute for Advanced Sustainability Studies at Potsdam. She's going to spend a bit of time on why methane emissions matter and why we need to act on them. Kathleen.
Hello everyone, and thanks for that introduction. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the invitation to be here, a little bit about methane science, and really provide scientific basis for why acting on methane is urgent. So, just to start, if we look at atmospheric methane concentrations, we know that they're higher than they have been in the past 800,000 years. And they're growing rapidly with an increase in their growth rate since 2014. And if we continue on as business as usual, we're just finding out for even more increases in methane emissions. So we know we need to act. By then, this chart is information that we see methane emission increases over the past 2,000 years. So in the room, I probably don't need to point out that methane is important to global warming. It's the second most important greenhouse gas after CO2, and if you look on the right side, you see its contribution to global air temperatures in industrial times is on the order of half a degree of Celsius. And so we know we're at about 1.1 degrees warming. But for industrial right now, half a degree is very significant. So we clearly need to cut methane to have any hope of reaching our climate target. Just to give you a very brief picture of the global emissions situation. So if we look globally, we know that about 40% of methane emissions, anthropogenic methane emissions, come from agriculture, 35% from fossil, 20% from waste, and then other small sources that make up the rest. There are natural methane emissions that represent the other emissions, those are largely from wetlands. In this picture, it's just to point out that there are significant regional differences in what the most important methane sources are. So, if our goal is to cut methane, it's really a regional and a country level important to consider which sources are important. In some cases, fossil emission and energy producing countries and regions, in some cases, agriculture, in some cases, waste. So, this is the type of data that countries need to consider when developing their own action plans, for instance, in the context of the Global Methane Pledge. So, a little bit on the science here. I want to say something about the atmospheric breakdown of methane. So, unlike CO2, methane is active and atmospheric chemistry. So, this means it's in the air and then it starts to break down via photochemical reaction, which leads to an atmospheric removal and around the atmosphere. On the one hand, that's a good story because, okay, methane is a form we don't want in the atmosphere. But on the other hand, it's leading to harmful and toxic byproducts. So just to mention, when methane breaks down, the end result of oxidation is a molecule of CO2. That's not so good, and it also has a role of releasing stratospheric water vapor that's also warmer. And then I'm going to spend a little more time talking about tropospheric ozone, which is also one of the oxidation and harmful effects. So, I'm going to spend a little more time talking about how ozone damages health as well as plants, which leads to crops, as well as impact on our ecosystem. Okay, so just the basics on tropospheric ozone. Breathing ozone harms us. We don't want to breathe it, and other health effects include asthma, COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It's associated with premature mortality. I'd like to point out that children especially are vulnerable to the health impacts. I'd also like to say a few words about what future tropospheric ozone is expected to look like. So one point I'd like to make is that climate change is generally expected to worsen ozone pollution due to kind of complex interactions between the chemistry and emission sources, warmer temperatures favor higher ozone concentration. Ozone is a little bit of a tricky air pollutant in that it's not emitted directly, but it's formed by methane contribution to tropospheric ozone is going to increase in the future. So methane is the only compound that leads to production of tropospheric ozone. The most important other ones are nitrogen oxides, as well as non-methane volatile organic compounds. And these others are regulated under air pollution regulations in much of the world. So in some parts of the world, these other air pollutants that lead to ozone are already decreasing, or they're expected to decrease, which means the main culprit for future tropospheric ozone is then going to be methane. This is just a presentation of what the health benefits would look like if you reduce methane that is taken from recent global methane assessment of the U.S. Atmospheric Air Pollution. Here, the estimate is that if we reduce methane emissions by 45% compared by 2030 compared to 2020 levels, again, these increases or reductions in premature death rates. You can see there's some regional differences here. So, ozone is not only harmful to our lungs. We breathe in ozone that's very active, it's not good, but it also causes cellular damage to leaves, or damaging plant strains. If you look at the picture, you can see the brown is evidence of ozone damage in leaves. So we actually see this. When this happens, one thing we know about this is that this negatively affects food security. We eat crop losses. Annually, this is estimated to be between $11 and $18 billion worth of crop losses on a global level annually. So this is another calculation looking the other way around, not what damage is done, but how mitigation in methane reduction. And if you see, this is the unit shows you economic value. So we see added value of avoided loss through methane reduction. And we're talking between tens of billions and millions annually, depending on the region. So when we talk about methane reduction, we're talking about benefits for climate, but also health and ecosystem, for instance. Looking again at reducing methane emissions by 45% by 2030, means avoiding 0.3 degrees of warming. This is huge by 2040, and also preventing respiratory death from air pollution, preventing crop losses due to air pollution, preventing hospital visits due to air pollution. You can also look at loss of work hours. Just a reminder, the Global Methane Pledge is a pledge to reduce global methane emissions by 30% worldwide compared to 2020 levels. So the calculation of avoided warming there is going to avoid 0.2 degrees Celsius warming. Not quite as ambitious as conventional levels. I would like to just get to the last slide here, talking about the effect that we know a little bit less about, but I think it's very important and also get focused on. So, ozone damage to plants, not limited to crops. We have more studies about crops because it's easy to know that ozone also causes damage to leaves of trees. There's a couple of different estimates of what impact it would have on warming, but I would like to point out that in many places globally as well as many national plans, there's a lot of reliance on forests as carbon storage. And we are really putting that at risk by continuing to pump out methane emissions, which leads to ozone air pollution, which not only damages us, but it damages our forests, our ecosystems, and thereby also crops. With that, I would like to ask my first one.
Very much indeed, Kathleen. Sorry, we should do that. event the other day when there was no clapping, so let's clap in between. That's a much better way to do it. Next on our journey into UK, we have a short BBC film on gas leaks in Iraq, and we have the journalist responsible, Jeff Kelly, with us. Yes.
Hi everybody, my name is Jeff Kelly and I'm a freelance director at the BBC. We spent about a year and a half investigating the health impacts of gas flaring in southern Iraq, and we made a documentary called Under Poison Skies, which has been screening here at home. Apart from methane, the combustion of fossil fuels leads to production of toxic gases, including methane, and we documented high levels of cancer, leukemia on children who are living near the oil fields. I'm going to play you two extracts from the film, just so that you can get a sense of how it is the fossil fuel industry. So as you can see from that clip, people live very, very close to gas flaring in Iraq. That was from Romania oil field, which is the second biggest oil field in the world in terms of production, and it's where BP is the lead contractor. What we found is that many of the laws in Iraq are being broken. For example, people shouldn't be living as close as 10 kilometres to the gas flares, but in this instance, they are as little as 1.5 kilometres away. So what we set out to do in the film was to try to prove what chemicals were being emitted by the gas flares and to see if there was a link between the high cancer rate and the combustion of fossil fuels. And I'll just show you one more clip where you can see how the tests were done. So you can also see from that clip how the communities who live in this region for decades have also noticed the severe impact of climate change, and this area which used to be full of water with fish is now a barren landscape where there's just oil extraction. We did also look into methane leaks during the course of this investigation. We didn't actually use it to film, but we worked with ASRO, the Dutch space organisation, and they used the satellites for proposing, and they found a huge methane leak coming from a facility in the Vilella field. And it was ironically on a gas capture facility founded by Shell and the Iraqi government. And they found a leak of 120 tons of methane per hour, which is equivalent to half of the UK's total man-made methane production in the same period. So that's just an example of when fossil fuel extraction is continuing, there's really no way to control methane emissions, even in the site which is designed to capture gas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Jess. How many times do we have to hear a variation on the story of a big company with powerful lawyers and lots of money denying that their thing is causing the problem we know it's causing? So let's move on to the tackling the problem. We've talked, I mentioned the three principal sources of methane globally. We have representatives on the panel here who understand and will speak to that. Let's consider the three pillars of a global methane agreement that's set out in this new report. Delve a little into what is proposed in the report and consider how we get beyond just pledging and into something more formal towards agreement. So maybe Nusa, just introduce quickly this kind of this picture, how we go beyond the Global Methane Pledge to formalise it and ensure implementation and accountability.
Thank you, Gareth. So we know from our research that both governments and companies don't take serious action as long as it's voluntary. They equate it with optional aspiration of climate and paper, but this changes as soon as there's more like mandatory theme around it. And we see this pledge in a similar way. It has to become more binding. We are running out of strength. Methane is our emergency brake. Pledge must be seen as first step in the focused efforts to cut methane. We've also heard that it gets only 2% of the funding. So this really needs to be ramped up. Our methane agreement should be based on like four main things. Like first of all, it must be negotiated quickly because we are in a climate emergency. It must decrease the percentage of cuts. We're fighting for every fraction of every degree, and it matters. We've seen from Kathleen presentation, we're currently methane pledge released 0.2 degree reduction, but if we do 25 is necessary to achieve 0.3 degree warming reduction. It must extend to 2030. And I would also add that it must include all available measures from agriculture as well. And that means, I'll talk about it later, but it means holistic approach by governments when it comes to the transition. I'll talk about this later, but just to kind of briefly talk about the three pillars that we envisage. So it would be based on monitoring, reporting, and verification. First pillar, mitigation across three sectors, which we will go more into, and then financial and technical assistance. And we also think that communities on the ground must be included when it comes to these things, and the efforts that are already happening must be accelerated and scaled up.
Thank you. And what an appalling chair I am that I just turned and said your name rather than introducing Nusa Urbancic, who's the campaigns director at Changing Markets. And we'll hear more from Nusa in a moment. But let's turn to the first of those pillars then, the monitoring, reporting, verification framework. Kim O'Dowd is climate campaigner with the Environmental Investigation Agency. Kim, talk us through the need for a common MRV framework for signatories to this.
Thank you very much. So, I'm going to kick us off with this first pillar that we envisioned for this global agreement that we call MRV, which stands for Measurement, Reporting, and Certification. It's extremely important because MRV helps us know the problem that we're facing. It gives us information on the amount of methane emissions that's out there. It helps us give us more accurate goals and also track progress. That would be the foundation of any effective global framework for methane. Because when we talk methane, we face an immense problem, which is under-reporting. A lot of countries are still relying on methodologies that could be outdated or rely on lower-tier methodologies. I'm going to give you a few examples. In the sector I talked about, which is energy, the International Energy Agency has found that methane emissions were about 70% greater than what's currently reported. If we take agriculture, in spite of its massive impact on the climate, majority of companies self-report their emissions. And my colleagues from Changing Markets recently looking at the two biggest companies of meat and dairy, and they found that out of the 15 companies, 9 do not report their emissions. So we need to focus on this MRV. And there's a few things that we can do, and I'm going to talk about all three of them. The first one is that we need to make definition campaigns with another lead that we use harmonized. And we can already use things that already exist. For example, the energy sector, we already have the OGMP for a zero framework that can help us create harmonized methodology. Second thing is that we need to make reporting mandatory. The third thing is that we must have a system for independent verification of those emissions. And we already have some help with that. For example, we have the IMEO. IMEO stands for International Methane Emissions Observatory. It can play a major role in verifying those emissions. The IMEO is a data-driven, action-focused initiative led by the UN, which provides near real-time information on methane emissions using satellite data. And we have more and more satellites getting sent in the atmosphere to monitor those emissions, so we're going to get, by day by day, year by year, more accurate methane emissions. So once this reporting is done from national reporting, we need those measurements centralized in a central house, called the area, that can then make those data available for the society, scientists, economy, policymakers, which would help them with implementation, science, and rules. And this secretariat could also have a role in monitoring the plans that the council put in place to mitigate methane and make sure that those plans are not just words but are actually implemented and track progress. And I would like to conclude on this MRV setup by saying one thing. It is extremely important if we cannot wait for having data to act. We already know the things that need to be done to cut methane. Why? And we have them in place. Why we continue collecting the data? And we're going to get into this second step.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's move on to... I'm sorry, I forgot. I don't mean to discourage the clapping. I mean to encourage it, in fact. Thank you very much, Kim. Let's move on to Pillar 2 and talk about mitigation. And this is going to look across all three of these sectors, all three very different sectors, very different causes of emissions, and therefore different solutions to cutting all of those. So let's go back to Nusa, who, as I didn't introduce her the first time, let me introduce her a second time, is the Campaigns Director of Changing Markets. Nusa, tell us a bit about the source and quantity of emissions in the sector and how you go about cutting agricultural emissions.
Thank you. So agriculture is the biggest anthropogenic source of methane emissions. We've seen 40% from hazard vegetation, and 32% is actually livestock, so animal agriculture. I want to kind of dispel the myth that a reduction in this sector are expensive, difficult, and dispersed, and the emissions are dispersed. So earlier this week we published a study where we looked at just 15 meat and dairy companies, 10 dairy and 5 meat companies, big global corporations like JBS, Nestlé, Danone, Tyson. And we kind of struggled to find even the most basic data about this emission. So we calculated how much methane they're responsible for, and the result is quite staggering. Just these 15 companies are responsible for more than 10% livestock methane. And actually, their methane emissions are bigger than those of Russia, which is a huge producer of oil and gas. So this is really something that, policymakers should kind of move forward. We've seen also the great report that UN published last week, which is about net zero targets. Most of these companies have net zero targets, but it was really difficult to find even the most basic information about their emissions. None of them report methane in their annual reports. It's all part of aggregates, and when you actually look at what the percentage methane represents, it's around half. And if you look at it over 20 years, which is more relevant time frame, for climate action, it goes above 70%. So this is why we think that regulating the meat and dairy companies that have millions of animals in their supply chains should be much higher on the priority list for the government to sign the methane pledge. These 15 companies are headquartered in 10 countries, and all of them, with the exception of China, have signed the pledge. So this is what we're calling to kind of deal with livestock, industrialized livestock agriculture. We're not talking about smallholders, we're not talking about pastoralists, we're talking about these huge corporations that produce the majority of meat and dairy. The second myth is that it's expensive. So it depends how you look at it. If you look at it in tech basis, And if you wanted to tax figure the global north, where it's already very efficient production, yes, it's going to be expensive. But we must also look at it through demand side. So actually, our waste colleagues talk really nicely about, we can't recycle our waste or even compost our way out of the waste problem. We have to reduce waste first. This is kind of about reducing overconsumption. Like if you look at US, Europe, Australia, Latin America, where people overconsume meat and dairy, you could do a lot of reduction just by aligning the diet with what doctors already recommend. So with dietary health guidance, we calculate this for Europe, and this is not against vegetarian vegan diet, it's just about aligning with what doctors say is healthy, and you would get 15 to 90% total methane reductions in Europe if you did this. So this has to be a topic. It's also not just about methane. If we want to stay under 1.5 temperature increase, we need to transform our food system. And animal agriculture is responsible for 50% of greenhouse gas emissions. The last one is that it's difficult. I think we have to try it. It's not difficult, but we need to become much braver when it comes to this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's move on then to waste, which got a name check there. Our next panelist is Director of the Global Climate Programme at GAIA, Mariel. Mariel, so same question to you on waste then. What, how and how much?
Hello everyone, thank you very much for being here with us today. I work with GAIA, the Global Alliance for Incinerator Alternatives. We are a global alliance of more than 850 countries. And our members have been for years now engaging in methane emissions reduction on the ground in the waste sector doing organic waste management. And I want to tell a story about one of the success stories that we have of our network. In that way, not only because it illustrates very well what we see as the best way to move forward to reduce methane in the waste sector, but also because as we look at how to stretch the policy and how we can increase the momentum of the Global Methane Pledge and turn it into agreement, I think it's very, very important that we include all these policies with clear principles of sustainability criteria and environmental justice. And having a principle of environmental justice means looking at what communities are doing on the ground. So this is where we need to look at what is happening already, what are communities, local groups working on already, because this is where we find some of the best practices that need support, that need to be elevated, and that need to shape the implementation policy that we need so much. So the story that I want to talk about is the story of Urbancic. This is a city in India that has a situation that is very common in many cities in the global south. In the year 2000, Urbancic was sending all their waste untreated, completely mixed to a dumpster outside the city. This was 200, 300 tons of waste per day that were being dumped just outside the city. And of course, it started creating really severe problems to the communities that were living there, impacting their livelihoods, impacting agriculture, impacting their health. And in this case, these communities organized and started fighting back this landfill until they managed to successfully to close the landfill in 2011. But the interesting thing is that they didn't stop here. And the villagers, together with, in this case, the GAIA member that is in the city, the Canal Trust, that was playing an instrumental role in encouraging and guiding the city to transform completely the waste management system in the city. And what they did was to implement a decentralized system of waste management that managed to provide a solution for the organic waste management without burying the waste and also without burning, like not relying on any incineration either, which is often promoted in these cases. Within 5 years, they've managed that a city like Vilella, that is millions of people, has managed to have 80% participation in this segregation program. That is separating the organic waste at source and doing separate collection. And they have implemented thanks to subsidies that provide 4,000 anaerobic digesters that are providing biogas, and also more than 80,000 composting units. So this is a successful model. This is something that is now influencing the policy at the state level, at the level of GAIA, and this is the kind of model that we think really needs to be promoted and elevated and inspired of the solution. So these are two takeaways, clear takeaways that I want to share from this story. In the first place is that it is imperative that we take the organic waste out of the landfill. The waste sector is responsible for 20% of anthropogenic methane emissions, and these emissions come primarily from the landfill, from all the organic waste that goes to the landfill, which is primarily the food waste or the gas waste. So the simple solution here really is to stop putting the organic in the landfill, and the simplest, easiest, fastest, and cheapest solution has to go in that direction. Continuing to that, we have a two-phase hierarchy that has to be represented in the first place, and food waste recovery, distribution, etc. We have to ensure a clean stream of organic waste that can provide composting and biogas systems with the systems that is needed. And with this right solution in place, we can reduce up to 95% of the methane emissions in the waste sector by 2030. The other takeaway that I want to emphasize is that this factor is not a unique disease. Many other places around the world are seeing how communities have been organizing against the pollution in the waste sector from incinerators, from landfills primarily when we talk about methods, and have been organizing and setting up models for alternative zero waste systems that are really showing the way forward. In those places, especially in the global south, we have to also put a strong emphasis in including the informal sector, the waste figures that are being this factor recycling system in so many places around the world. Precisely in India is where we have in Pune, in Mumbai, in Bangalore, we have examples of places that where the waste figures have received the adequate support that they need to organize, to form cooperatives, and to then engage into contracts with the municipalities that have been able to provide environmental services to the city, creating more livelihoods, improving their livelihoods. So we're not talking only about number of jobs, we're talking about quality of jobs, so that people increase the living conditions that we are tackling, justice, poverty, and equity as well. These are the solutions that we want to move forward, and we know that so far the climate finance that is going to method in the waste sector has been going mainly to incineration, to waste-to-energy incineration, which is a technology that is producing CO2 and less contributing to climate change, as well as air pollution and impacting livelihoods of waste pickers and creating locking systems that prevent zero waste systems, because once you have an incinerator, it's basically in a mortgage, like a commitment to continue feeding an incinerator. It's gonna prevent moving forward in the zero waste direction. We need to shift it. We really need to shift this climate and finance trend and divert all this money that is going to the wrong solution so far. And we have to make sure that the models that we are talking about, the ones that are really delivering on method mitigation and adaptation and providing additional benefits, are the ones that are moving forward and being scaled up. So I'm calling everyone here to engage and support the mechanisms that are on the ground, to really provide the resources needed so that all these models that are already demonstrating how they're working can be scaled up and can be reproduced all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mariel. Back to you, Kim, to tell us the same story, but about anything the third source.
Okay, sure. So when we talk about the energy sector, we're talking about oil, gas, and coal. And this sector, as I showed earlier, represents about 35% of contributing methane emissions. And those emissions occur for different reasons of supply chain. The first reason is what is intentional, and that's what we've seen in the film earlier, flaring, which means burning gas, transforming methane into CO2, or venting it, and in that case you just release it in the atmosphere. The second reason is unintentional. In that case, it's leaks on the pipelines, on the compressors, or from abandoned coal mines or wells that have not been properly sealed. And I'm going to start with this. Any infrastructure of oil, gas, and coal is prone to leaks. So as long as we have oil, gas, and coal, we will have methane emissions associated with the energy sector. So the most important and direct pathway to mitigate methane emissions from the energy sector is actually moving away from fossil fuels in just transition. The good news is that while we work on that transition, we have measures that we can put in place to cut methane emissions from oil, gas, and coal. And actually, the energy sector has been identified as the sector with the most potential because 80% of measures can be implemented at low or negative cost. So, what are those magical measures? The first one I'm going to talk about is leak detection and repair, also known as LDAR. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's basically detecting leaks on the supply chain and fixing them. And the more frequent you do LDAR, the more methane you're going to mitigate. This is particularly crucial because here's the fact: when leakage along the supply chain exceeds 3%, then gas becomes worse than coal in power generation. So that's the fact that you can do when any person tells you that gas is transition. So how can you do that? You use drones, you use cameras, you use satellites, there's a wide range of technologies to perform LDAR. The second very important measure that you put in place is bands of venting and flaring. We've seen those very physical images earlier of flaring events. It's very damaging for health, for climate, for biodiversity, and it's actually very unnecessary practice. Yet that you just ban and we only allow very specific situations for the treatment. Third one is a bit more technical, it's called technology spend. Basically, certain equipment that are used along the supply chain leak or bend by design. But there are some equipment that perform the same way but actually don't emit or emit way less. Technically standards basically, if you use energy regulations, are going to encourage the use of those equipment that emit less or almost no emissions. The last measure that I will talk about is on inactive wells and abandoned coal mines. I mentioned it earlier, that all around the world there are inactive wells and abandoned coal mines that have not been properly sealed or cleansed. So we're going to make sure that we identify those, that we fix them, and that we monitor them to make sure that they don't emit the methane emissions anymore. And this is going to become even more important as we phase out of sealing. And I'd like to add a very last thing. I know that right now it can be tricky to talk about any measures that will touch the energy supply chain when we are in a global energy crisis. But I'd like to remind you that, as I said, 80% of measures can be implemented at lower negative cost, and there's an additional reason. Spending very deep is just a waste of gas. And if you mitigate those emissions, you can actually save energy. The International Energy Agency has actually found that it's important to the European Union where measures to limit flaring, and that's just limiting flaring, not even protection and capacity. They can start increasing gas exports by more than 45 million cubic meters, which represents around 1/3 of Russian gas exports to the European Union in 2021. So, we can say that investing in methane emissions from the energy sector is a win-win-win, win for climate, win for human health, biodiversity, and win for the economy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm willing to hear that stat again at some point before we finish, so that we can repeat it to any of the fossil fuel lobbyists who are walking around this hall. I can also exclusively reveal that the copper flies are either enthusiasts, these days, or are trying to stop us, because there are many of them up here, so we're doing this, that's why. Right, next, I mentioned that this event is in partnership with the Chilean government. Chile, of course, who hosted the COP 3 years ago, the COP before last, which took place in Madrid. So let's turn to Chile and the story there, why and how they have chosen to build methane cuts into the measures in their new NDC. So over to the next round panelist, Camila Labarca, who is Chief of the Mitigation and Transparency Office in Chile's Ministry of the Environment. You need to put your mic on. Press the button. Press the button.
Love it.
Yeah,
that's it.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. So I will tell you about an annex that we finished this week for our NDC. So it's not a new NDC, we have an updated NDC from 2020. And this week we submitted an annex for strengthening the NDC. And some little sense is thinking also for a new NDC that will be expected in 2025. So firstly, I'm going to talk about our NDC. I will tell you briefly what is our NDC now. So it has 4 components: a social pillar, a mitigation component, adaptation component, and integration. Integration component has actions or goals that work for mitigation and also adaptation together. Okay? Usually the mitigation goals, we have a level of emission by 2030. We have an emission target of 1,100 million tons CO2 equivalent between 2020 and 2030. These are equivalent to all three cities, not only CO2 but also methane and other gases. But if we have non-specific actions or reductions for each sector or dam, is emission target. And also we are at peak by 2025. And in the integration statement, there's one statement in sectoral economy, which said that we will do the national organic waste strategy. We already did in one for the 2021 year. And also we did the roadmap to 2020. After our understanding with Gavi in 2020, in 2021 we did our long-term minor strategy. And in this one, we did initial bucket that is national. We divided it in 7 ministries with specific by goal, they cannot go farther from the budget. So there is this bucket for agriculture, that is impact of waste emissions, and public works and energy. So they have to develop specific mitigation plans with action, so they don't go further from their sectoral market. And they will have to do this in 2024. And also in the long-term strategy, we set up specific goals and objectives and criteria for 50, but also for every 3 years. So there, for example, in the area a goal of 6 fires and that are missing emissions, and also develop a roadmap to carbon something in agro farming. And also we have some goals specifically for the circular economy sector, which will not only make diverse or reward our organic, but also reduce the consumption of waste. So for the strategy of our NDP, we focus on different areas, but specifically we are methane commitment. Because we are part of the mitigation and we know how important it is to reduce the current cost. So, global context of mitigation, they have been increasing since 1990. In 2010%, and in 2010 it was 8%. And our biggest waste, biggest emissions come from the waste sector, in 48%, and then 33% for the agriculture sector, and energy is only 11%. So we also have foreign policy, so that this is not new, they already have this. And so we have this national organic waste strategy in which we want to recover 56% of our organic waste by 2040. And for this we have many intermediate goals. One goal for 2030 of 30%, and also to have specific composting bins in houses, in residential establishments, and also to recover green areas with the composting products. We had already the extended to reproduce law, which will be part of recycling packaging and containers, which includes paper and cardboard. That's also an way that we reduce the methane. It was Camila, so we did a study with the help of the Global Methane Pledge to look for more accelerate action. We want to reduce methane. So we did different scenarios with projections. We have the current policy. So within the current policy, we have reductions, but they would be still increasing our emission reductions, our methane emissions, because places are landfills are very big and they are already filled with organic waste and they are producing methane. So if we divert organic waste now, we will still be producing more and more methane from those landfills. So we search for new, and we have this other trend, the one that we use for our goal, for our new goal. We need some these agreement first to see how much the items will cost. And they are not cost effective. I think we need to find the finance to be able to implement these measures. Some of these measures might be implemented with the green path that we have nationally. So the idea was maybe to find finance to be able to actually reach this goal. So after the study, we published recently with reversing 50% of our national methane emissions by 2025. And I just wanted to add also, after looking peer review, for example, that Wetlands also have or might have methane emissions that we don't know them yet, we haven't mentioned them yet, so we don't know how big they are, and also the energy sector. We already use like tier 1 methodologies, but we are not that big oil and gas country, but we have those emissions. So those are two areas that we want to also do more and see how what else can we add to the 2025 NDC, and for that we also will have a carbon marker slide and to look for the in the landfill and also in the areas where there's gas exploit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed for that, Camila. I think I'm right in saying that there are relatively few parties here COP who have methane plans in their NDC, so it's really great to hear from one of the leaders in that. So thank you. So back to the pillars. We've heard about pillar 1, monitoring, reporting and verification. I think I'm saying monitoring, you're saying measuring, sorry. Pillar 2, mitigation. Our third pillar in this framework is financial and technical assistance. So to talk us through that, our sixth panel today is Urmenata from the Global Methane Hub. So Carolina, tell us about the work which the Global Methane Hub and the Climate and Clean Air Coalition have been doing, supporting countries and strengthening finance.
My name is so we are going to do it. Thank you for the invitation and thank you for the great conversation. And yes, we're going to talk about making commitment to change that we have right now.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about making commitment to strengthen the right now and how do we work with actually predict efficiency. I am the program director for circular economy and waste at the Global Methane Hub. We are a philanthropic effort to allow funding on methane mitigation with our public portfolio and gas, agriculture, and oil. And what we do is support global methane pledge signatories and potential signatories in meeting the pledge and goal results because we know and GAIA has told us that we need to go beyond that. Yes, that's totally true. And for that, what we do is that we require coordination and collaboration on methane advocacy. Our brand areas are the ones with the highest impact, and our offices are based in Santiago. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Latin America, in order to understand different realities, because we talk a lot about India, that is where we're working also in India. But if we look, for example, this Latin America, we know that we are the second region, or the largest second region, emitter or methane in global level. And if we go to this side, because we're talking about commitment, and we're talking about reporting, and I think that's great, because last fall we have the Global Methane Pledge, which yes, it's the first step. Now, in a few minutes, we're going to have the ministerial of the Global Methane Pledge. We're going to see some advance, That will be more with the concept. And for example, we are going here about pathways, in different sectors. We already have the energy pathway, but we're going to have an agricultural pathway and a waste pathway. That is, of course, not enough. But we are going to, we are going to make treatment, having more issues to report on the results of the Global Methane Pledge. And if we look, for example, South Africa, here we have the NDC and the Vilella pledge report, previous from 27, we want to have good news here. And what we have, in fact, is that we have only one pathway that includes specific commitment from methane in the NDC, which is Uruguay. Now we have good news from Chile, because they are introducing analysis. What do we need? Because when they have specific commitment in their NDC, they need to report, because they need to present their P&L transparency report, and since 2024, they need to present their P&L transparency report. So we have the mechanism. What we need is that we need to have the commitment there, because they are forced to do that. If that is the first agreement, of course, they could not report but we will ask them, because we need and they must present the P&L transparency. When we talk, and we already talked about the reductions, we know that we have fossil fuels or energy, and we know that there we have more potential. We have waste, where we need to reduce between 30 to 35%, and we have agriculture. The mitigation here is the approach and also the finance, and because we have cost-effective actions, but we have also technology available to make these actions. So how we do that is the and in the one sector, well, we have this, with this acute recovery directive, we need to work considering this, and that's exactly what you said. Like, we need to consider in the waste sector, you were presented about energy, but we need to consider the reality on the territory when we talk about concrete action. And for that, we think the food recovery guarantee is the best approach where we have source reduction, we have actions to keep and restore or the animal, and then we have industrial use, composting, and the last preferred actions are landfill and incineration. And that must be our approach when we are talking about methane mitigation. That is our approach. And we already talked about this. If we talk about the methane finance, we know that less than 2% of the climate finance target methane global. And here we have, for example, this picture where you can see, like the relation between targeted methane abatement finance and the methane emissions. And we see that we have a huge gap here. We need to work on this. And if we go deep inside of this, and we go, for example, to the waste sector, we are going to find that most of the finance goes through incineration. So then we have a problem. The good thing is that we know that we have a problem, and we need to work on that. What we do at the Global Methane Pledge, we drive collaboration and coordination for methane reduction. We are working with CPIC, and today we are going to know about the 40 countries that are presenting methane action plans. We work also, for example, with South America, and Camila already presented, in developing concrete analysis in order to have good information for decision makers. Because it's great to have like the information for a region or at global level, but we need to use the information also and considering to make decisions. But what they are using is your electric, for example. You use that information, so we need also to use that. We need to complement that, of course, with satellite monitoring. And for that, we support countries and communities with better data and improve monitoring, reporting, and verification tools. We're talking also about emerging activities. So important because we are used to have information in a top-down line. And with this, with this remote sensing solution, we have information at a facility scale. So we are speaking about bottom-up information. And that is what we need when we want to report methane mitigation action. This is an example of a landfill, for example, in Buenos Aires. We have another example, and we are talking about carbon mapper, another remote sensing technology that allows us to pinpoint and quantify and plot strong methane emissions at facility scale. And this offers a rapid methane leak detection and increased accessibility, transparency, and understanding on the methane data. This is what we need when we talk also about environmental justice, and that is why we are working also together on this. How will support countries and the local government for ambitious regulation and design and implementation? Well, this is some examples of what we are doing right now. We have a project acceleration for residual organics together with Canada. We are working with 10 countries, Belize, Colombia, Costa Rica, Chile, Granada, Guyana, Peru, Dominican Republic, Uruguay, and San Lucia. We support also new ambitious regulations in order to ban organic waste from landfills. Organic was really we need waste diversion, and for that we need to work on this. We work also on other partnerships with RMI and CAS in order to have a waste methane assessment platform, a waste map, that would enable stakeholders access to transparent, dynamic, and open data. we're working also in a methodology of quantification, tracking, and communication of food banking methane mitigation. Because, for example, we have food banking experience in 70 countries, as global level. But when we talk with countries, in order to have methane mitigation action for meal consumers, they only talk about the waste direction, for example, but they are not considering food banking. Why? Because we don't have a methodology for quantification or methane, and that is what we are going for. I work also with GAIA in a draft, of values and principles for environmental justice, because we don't want just to say, yes, we are considering environmental justice. We want to measure that, with different actions. And for that, we think that it's important to have some values and principles that local government and national government could use. This is some example of what we do. It's not, of course, everything. And this is my last slide. What is also important is communication. We are talking here about communication, changing markets to free, in this kind of data. And we think we need to go also to the citizens to explain that here we have a huge opportunity. It's not like we need to fight, I don't need to fight with the energy sector, for example. So I'm talking about the waste, we need both things. But we need to understand that both are important, and if we could do concrete actions as citizens, here we have an example on the reductions that we can avoid if we consider organic waste composting and if we consider collecting the data at home. This is, our method. We need to start with methane emissions because this is the fastest, most effective way to reduce the rate of solar working and continue to mitigate the different types to 1.5. We know we have that, and we must act now because we have to take it to do this and to the next outcome. Thank you very much, and happy Christmas.
Thank you very much indeed. So thank you to all of our panelists for those presentations. We have around 15 minutes left before, no doubt, another group of panelists will come surging in and boost us out. Let me open the floor to anybody who has any questions to any or all of our panelists. I don't know if we have a roving mic at all. Does anybody know if we have a roving mic by any chance? Okay. You may just need to stand up and shout rather than lots, and if we really can't hear you, then you could always come up to the podium, but no speeches, only questions. Sorry, raise your hands again if you had a question. Can I go first to this lady here? Yes. Yeah, we definitely can't hear you.
Yeah, we're going to go.
I think a man may be about to appear with a mic. Here, he's got a mic. So please wait till the mic comes to you.
So my question was about the measuring and verification program. We heard from Al Gore that he is coordinating with massive worldwide efforts to verify greenhouse gas emissions. Are you connected with that effort?
Who can tell us about that? Make sure Kim maybe.
Thank you very much for your question. So we are not directly connected with, but we work with a wide range of organizations that getting data out of the IMEO, actually other mirror groups of the IMEO, GAIA. So definitely try to reach out to more and more organizations to discuss this. And I think a big part of this call for global methane pledge, and we didn't mention it at the set of PIDA, but it is very important, the coordination, with all the initiatives that are out there to measure methane emissions, to mitigate them, to help identify them technically. So we definitely call for all those organizations that join, and that is something that is missing in global methane pledge as well as another area that helps with the coordination.
Thank you. I saw a question just behind, the gentleman on the aisle here. Could I get the mic to... Thank you.
Nusa shared that Germany, we are looking for solutions how to actually start really acting on methane emissions. I had many thanks for all the valuable input. I have two questions. First one is, so we've heard that multinationals are one of the big problems. Could that be one of the big solutions? So we are thinking about whether it would be possible that one of these multinationals spearheading the methane emission reduction. For example, if you look at Coca-Cola, they have a lot of methane emissions in wastewater, for example. If they have the franchise system, and they, for example, let others produce their drinks in Kenya, put through this franchise system, for example, could this be used to actually transport methane emission reduction? So my question is, do you think it's valuable to work with them, and not that they are one of the big problems? Could there be further solutions? And then the second question is, I still haven't understood, so I know that a lot of money has been pledged to the Global Methane Pledge. I'm not quite, I haven't understood yet how that money is being spent. Is that going to the Global Methane Pledge? So it would be great if you could explain that.
Okay, thank you. I wouldn't mind, on your first question about multinationals, just very quickly maybe getting Jess's perspective on, because you were looking at multinationals doing the very, very bad stuff. I wonder if in your investigation you had any sense of anything doing the right thing. And then I might come to you on waste, Mariel.
So, in terms of methane, Shell, which is meant to be capturing the gas in Iraq, is the only company that is there to do that. All the others are just flaring. We're actually incredibly competitive when we put our activations to them. And they claimed that they were providing huge amounts of electricity to Iraq. And we're not very receptive to our evidence, basically. I think it's really difficult to hold these companies to account, and especially in a country like Iraq, where enforcement is very weak. They do have the laws there, which the companies should abide by, and the companies should be following their own best practice, which they don't in Iraq. But the issue is that nobody's watching that. So in terms of the health impact, we didn't get a responsive from BP, and they said that as a result of our bill, they have pushed forward a new layering kind of technology that they have been wanting to implement for a long time and hadn't had support to do that. So although we don't want them to be flaring at all, it does look like they will be making some improvements. So yeah, it's very difficult, but we have to expose them in order. It seems like we have to expose them, otherwise they won't follow that practice, especially in somewhere like Iraq.
Thank you. And what about on the sort of agriculture side? There was very specifically a question about Coca-Cola and waste, but okay, go on.
I think the Coca-Cola, because we actually investigated Coca-Cola specifically, on plastic. But just to kind of, I think, yes, the companies definitely can be part of the solution, but they're not going to do it voluntarily. Like, they're only going to do it if they're regulated, if they have to regularly report, if there's financial sanctions on that for not doing the right thing. And Coca-Cola is actually a great example because we looked at what they've been doing on waste and plastic. Like, they're the biggest plastic polluter for 5 years in a row. And they've had voluntary commitments since 1990 on recycled content. They had 25% in 1990, and now in 2020 they're still at 9%. So this is really critical. We are calling for corporate action, but if there's no regulation, if there's no sanction, we're just left with corporate greenwashing.
Thank you. And there was maybe there's a very quick question there about the money from the legal and whether that is coming through that part. You could reach the mic.
Well, it's a great question, you know, and we all have where are the Mariel, and from different parts. So we have government, we have NGOs, we have farms, etc. The Global Methane Pledge is actually the public sector to align something for advocacy, you know. So we're talking about philanthropy here, you know. There are other farms also that are working with the Global Methane Pledge. We're working with them, yes, but we want to build that and we're giving.
Okay, thank you. I've seen two questions. Can I go to this woman here first, and then I will come to you afterwards?
Hi, I'm Rachel from BB2. We go after composting before incineration and taking waste that's mixed or separated and making it into material. We actually sell the material to these large multinational corporations. And while I'm not very social we have a person already. And I will say this, I can't speak specifically have seen a version of interest in preventing generally. What I can say is that they're with a desire because of their voice. And they're not alone. But I will say that I have not heard from Kathleen or a company like Kathleen is another partner, but rather a company that has a huge waste footprint in the base, let's say. And I think that there's a connection between extended producer responsibility, the extended fear in the space, and the opportunity to advance the methane efforts because of the extended producer responsibility policy. There's companies, multinational corporations, keep down the pipe. But if we can make that connecting the effort, I think there's an opportunity massively to accelerate their income coming to the table, as well as essentially the lack of the those are the two things that I feel about subnational, national, and international level.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if anybody wants to respond to that. That felt more like a contribution than a question, and that's not a criticism, and that's really helpful. But if anybody wants to come back on any of that, you're very welcome to, of course. I'm really being heckled by this line out. Can I have the microphone to you then, please? You had a question as well.
Hi. The story from the Labarca, we are a global methane partner related to the UK. Our mission is to help the climate change action. So we are quite interested in the UK and health stories and having incidents. And I just wonder if somebody might be able to take attention again. And then it's to where is the health story? Where are the gaps in terms of the health evidence around the UK?
Who wants to come in on health?
Sure, I can make a comment there. So, in terms of the health story, so methane is not itself an air pollutant in the sense that when you breathe it in, you're just going to breathe it out. It doesn't have direct impact on your health, but it has an important role in producing tropospheric ozone, and that is what you don't want to breathe. So, in that sense, it's a little bit indirect, but part of the health story, which I mentioned, is that, air pollution is being controlled globally actually much more efficiently than methane is being controlled. Methane emissions are only going up. In many parts of the world, air pollution emissions are going down. So there is a gap there because, if we think about the global warming potential GAIA 100 on a 100-year time scale, yes, that captures methane. This UN climate framework captures methane emissions and their impact on long-term climate. But if, for instance, any sort of carbon pricing scheme in which methane is included, when we treat it based on GAIA 100, any sort of health impact from this assessment is missing. So that, I think we can be doing more on the science side to quantify the health impact, but that's what I see the story from the science side.
Thank you. Sorry, did you want to close on, Nusa? I'm so sorry.
That's just to add a very small thing on diet, right? Because often I think this kind of co-balance is missed when it comes to agriculture instead, right? Because what happens is big impact on growth and productivity, and so lots of productivity, but we miss it. kind of acquisition to healthier diet, that will be maintain health benefits for population, protection of budgets that are being spent for health, something like that. Is there any modeling of that?
Time for one final question, if anybody has another question. If they don't, I have one, but question down the front again. Sorry, I didn't see.
So, this is an interesting waste phenomenon because it's actually also a commodity that everything's selling. So, as the energy crisis has increased the price of this commodity, presumably there's more emphasis to keep it from benefiting, so I just want to know if people can comment on that. And then the converse to that is, at some point, the commodity is going to drop back down. So how do we protect our systems from being affected by the lower the commodity? Or is it not an issue at all?
Kim, I think this speaks to the point you were making about saving. Yeah, does that make sense?
Methane is a waste, and you can actually reduce it instead of just making it as all flare. It's particularly true as well in the coal sector, which uses a lot of methane. It's not just there to trap those methane emissions and use them as a source, but you have to, when you do that, as well make sure that those don't instead Chile and Iraq. If it's not properly, this is not a solution. So we're going to make sure that this decontaction is carried on the whole supply chain. But that's
Kathleen, you want to speak as well?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you, the previous session to this group was focusing more on the science and also looking at methane from satellites and bottom up and looking more closely at where in this like oil and gas production and distribution chain these methane emissions are coming from. And one thing I learned there is really when you get the most methane emissions is when you're drilling a new well and you're opening up a new source of gas or fossil fuel. So I think that's also important to understand and should motivate us not to drill more wells. Thanks.
I think you had one. If you stick quick, the man with the microphone is tapping his watch as well. So.
About the GWP of methane, my family, so let's say we're still talking about 100 years GWP when methane is actually very short-lived. I'm wondering what can it take to revive the GWP for countries that are part of the Global Methane Hub or Chile or whatever, so that it's actually in line either 20-year timeline or in line with the Paris project. Is there any conversation about that?
Catherine's going to get the super quick answer that doesn't involve the man tapping his watch.
Yeah, the super quick answer is we need to care about goals. So under the Paris Agreement, it's really about a long-term temperature target, so we're not going to get rid of GWP 100, but we care about both near-term warming and long-term warming. And if we talk about that a little bit separately, when we're talking about near-term warming, we also can and should be using GWP 20. The data is there. There's no reason not to always talk about the GWP 20 and the GWP 100 of any greenhouse gas.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for everybody who has come here and engaged. Thank you for anybody who is watching on the live stream. But very much, very in particular, thank you to Kim, Camila, Caroline, and Nusa, Mariel, Kathleen, and Jess. Please thank them in the normal way.
I'm from Alberta, Canada. I can see the eyes how you're going.